up, you guys? Film fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review Absolution by Muse. We're continuing along with the Muse reviews finally, and we're here with Absolution. So, Absolution was a 2003 released album, and this was the band's third studio album. Now, the band was coming in, after Origin and Symmetry, the band felt like, okay, we have our, full stride. We have what we have. Like, we've made our mark. Now we need to make something even bigger than that. And that's what they sought out with Absolution, because Absolution is much more thematic. And, it kind of follows somewhat of a theme. The apocalypse, somewhat. It follows along with those themes of the apocalypse in ways more than once on this album. And, the band really wanted to elevate themselves with this album, even more so than they did with Origin and Symmetry. So, what did I think of Absolution? This, in my opinion, is the band's magnum opus. This album is a true masterpiece. This is a beyond phenomenal album. This is the first album I ever heard from the band, and it still remains the best one I've ever heard from the band. Absolution is a true masterpiece, in my opinion. I absolutely love Absolution. Absolution is beyond phenomenal. It's an album that you're lost for words at, to be honest. It is just that incredible of an album. Like, they upped themselves with Origin and Symmetry, but they just went out of the ballpark with Absolution. Absolution, it's an album that bands should strive for to make. Like, it's just one of those albums that people should, look at, this is what we need to make. This is an album we need to, it's just one of those albums. Absolution is an absolute masterwork. It really is. It still remains, and 15 years later, still remains the band's best work. And honestly, I don't know if they ever could touch Absolution, to be honest. It is an absolute masterwork of an album. It is absolutely phenomenal. And you know what? Enough of me just rambling on. I kind of want to let's just kind of talk about it, alright? So, let's get into first the production on this album. So, the production on this album is phenomenal. I absolutely love the production on this. It is so well produced. Everything on this album sounds absolutely beautiful. All the band members are at their best on this album. Seriously, all the band members are at their best on this album. Matt Bellamy's vocal work is the best I've ever heard. It's on this album. A lot of my favorite vocal performances from him are on this album. From stuff like Sing for Absolution, Stockholm Syndrome, or Hysteria. There's so many examples that I can use, and he just really elevates himself on this album. And his guitar, his guitar work is absolutely incredible here too. I love his guitar work on this. He delivers some of his best riffs, and some of his nastiest ones as well on this album, and I absolutely love his guitar work, and his piano work is shown very primarily on this album as well, as they do use a lot of piano on this album. And and the way it's implemented into some songs is absolutely fantastic, and we'll get into those once we get into those. But just his piano work on this album, especially one in particular, and we'll talk about that once we get into the tracks, but his piano work is absolutely fantastic here too. Chris Wolstenholme does an absolutely fantastic job with his bass work on this album. He delivers some of his absolute best bass lines on this album, especially one in particular, which I'm pretty sure all of you know which one I'm talking about. But just the dude goes at it on the bass. He is a huge standout, on all these albums. He's a bassist, like I've said before, that doesn't, hide in the shadows. He goes up into the forefront, and he definitely shows that on this album. He really, shows up in front why he's a part of this band and why he's such a pivotal part of this band. Dominic Howard, who his drumming here, oh boy, if you thought he went at it on Origin of Symmetry, then you've heard nothing yet, because he just goes at it on Absolution. He just goes hard and just, pounds at those drums, and he really does. He just absolutely goes and pounds on those drums, and they're absolutely fantastic and adds to the level of intensity that needs for some of these songs on this album. Speaking of that, this album has the best balance of hard and soft like music I've ever heard in my life, because the way it balances out with both just hard hitting in your face tracks to much more soft and emotional tracks is very nice, and it's a nice balance in my opinion. It never feels like out of place or just like, why are we going? It feels nicely balanced. I like that a lot, and I think the band does a fantastic job with that on this album. Like, I watched the videos, like it's always sunny in Philadelphia, but with Muse albums, and like when they got to Absolution, it was like a clip of Dennis going, not too hard, but not too soft either. And that's basically what this album is. It's not too hard, and it's not too soft. It's a nice balance of both of them. And the way that they elevate and way that they really balance that out was really fantastic in my opinion. And I really love how they do that on this album, to be honest. And it's a nice balance, and it adds a lot to the thematic themes that they have going on this album. So yeah, that's all I really gotta say about the production. The production is absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. Besides Origin of Symmetry, it's like Origin of Symmetry and then it's Absolution, because man, it's just so fantastic. So now let's get into, well, we're going to go big with this one. Since I love this album so much, we're going to go big with this one. We're not just going to talk about one track. We're not just going to talk about two. We're not just going to talk about three. We're going to talk about the whole track list on this album. Yes, we're going to be doing a track by track review. So let's get right into it. So here we go with my track by track review. Starting off with the first track on this album, which is an intro. It's an intro, it's 25 seconds I believe, and all you really hear is just a bunch of marching. That's really all you hear in this intro. It's just a bunch of marching going, that's all you hear. And then what this plays into, what it transitions to is, well, really what really is the first track off of this album, and that is Apocalypse Please. Apocalypse Please is just a hard-hitting song about just waiting for the apocalypse to come. Or waiting, it's, just having, urgency, having its waiting of the apocalypse, and, knowing it's coming and just waiting for it. And basically that's what this song is. With its heavy piano keys and its heavy drumming on this song, it really adds to the intensity and the sense of urgency with the song. It really does. Like the heavy keys, those heavy keys, when you hear them at first, you're just immediately drawn in by them. And just hearing that, I'm going to use this word a lot because it basically describes the song, the sense of urgency and Matt's voice while he's singing those lyrics. And just the way that they're executed, absolutely beautiful in my opinion. And man, Dom's drumming is really pivotal to this song too, because that really heavy drumming adds a lot to this song as well. And just the way that it's executed and the way that, it really has that idea of just waiting for the apocalypse to come and just waiting for it to take us all away. It just is absolutely beautifully done in my opinion, and it's really fantastic. I absolutely love the lyrics to this song too. The lyrics are absolutely fantastic, and it just has this nice just urgency and build, and it's absolutely amazing. And although this is one of the rare times where Chris Wolstenholme doesn't really shine with his bass work, it's still very good on this song, and I still like it a lot. It's an absolutely fantastic opening track in my opinion. Still remains one of the ones I always come back to on this album because just of how epic and how just brilliant it is, and just the way it builds tension and the way it just, as an album opener, hooks you in as a listener and really brings you into the album is absolutely fantastic. And I think Apocalypse Please is an absolutely fantastic song and still remains one of my favorites, not only off of the album, but one of my favorites from the band in general. So yeah, Apocalypse Please is an absolutely phenomenal track. So the next song we got here is Time Is Running Out. Time Is Running Out is basically one of the band's most popular songs. Even if you don't know who Muse is, you are aware of this song, to be honest, because it did become a huge hit for the band. And for good reasoning too. It's a fantastic song. Like, I love the subtlety at first with it. When you just hear both, like, the drumming, like, Dom hitting the drums and the snapping of fingers. Like, when you just hear that first, you're hearing Matt singing, I think I'm drowning, like, him singing the verses and stuff like, and you just hear that repeated beat, snapping the fingers, drum, snapping the fingers, drum. Like, each time he would sing a word from the verse. It was great, and it added a lot to the subtlety at first with the song. And then once we get to the pre-chorus, and let me just tell you, like, the pre-chorus, like, and then once the chorus hits, absolutely fantastic. I love that. Like, I love the pre-chorus that builds to the actual chorus, and once the actual chorus hits, it adds so much to it. I absolutely love how they do that in the song. So, once that happens, the intensity gets a lot higher. Like it does. It gets a lot higher. And then once the chorus hits, just the intensity takes full swing. And it's absolutely fantastic. It's such a chaotic track, but it's absolutely fantastic. Like, the sense of just, like, madness and, just having fear that we've got no more time left in the lyrics is absolutely fantastic. And Matt really shows that in his vocal work as well. And, having a sense of fear, having a sense of, like, oh no, what's going to happen next? Like, is our time really running out? And, having that in his voice while he's singing the song adds a lot too. And I love that. Like, he does an absolutely fantastic job with that in the song. Chris Wolstenholme's bass, absolutely fantastic. I love that bass intro that we hear, with the boom, 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 boom. Like, it's absolutely fantastic. I really like how it's implemented in the song, and, I think it does a really fantastic job with that in the song, and it's fantastic. So yeah, Time Is Running Out. It was one of my first loves off this album because I was just taken in so much by the production and the lyrics, and it was so fantastic. And I still love the song to this day and absolutely understand why this became one of the band's biggest hits, because it's a really well done song in my opinion, and it's really fantastic. So yeah, Time Is Running Out, phenomenal song. So the next song on this album is Sing for Absolution. Sing for Absolution is a very beautiful song, in my opinion. At first we just hear the piano go, doo, 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 doo. Like, we just hear the piano at first, and then we hear the bass and the drums come in very subtly, not too hard, but very subtly, and it just adds to the just overall feel with the song. Like, it's very beautiful, very subtle, and and when Matt is singing in the verses, it's, he's like, searching for something. And then once we get to the hook, he's asking for more salvation. And it's really fantastic, in my opinion. And his vocal work really shines on this song. It's very beautiful. He mesmerizes you with his voice on this song. And it's absolutely fantastic. I love the lyrics so much to this song. It's some of my favorite lyrics that the band has ever done, especially in the verses. And when we get to that hook of, sing for absolution, I will be singing, is absolutely fantastic. And just the way that it builds, it's amazing, honestly. Like, this has some of the best building I've ever heard for a song, to be honest. It's so incredible. And then once we get back to the hook again, you know, Matt's not just singing, the backup vocals come with it too, and it's so beautifully done. It really is. And then once the song, you know, has that like instrument breakdown and just becomes all chaotic and, you know, just very just in your face, and it's just feeling like, you know, like kind of like in the music video, you know, they're on like a ship and stuff, and it feels like they're crashing. You know what I mean? Like the song is crashing. I love that, and it just feels very chaotic. And, you know, it's really fantastic, especially when the guitar just comes screeching in, and it's amazing. Like, I love that about this song a lot. And then once we get to the end of the song, you know, it kind of tones it down a bit after they sing, you know, the hook again. It kind of tones down back to where we were at the beginning of the song. And it just kind of fades away. And I love that. Just the way it ends just kind of fades away. You know, very softly, but just, you know, fades. I like that, and it kind of adds a lot to the song as well, and gives it a nice finale as well. So yeah, Sing for Absolution, man, is an absolutely beautiful song. Like, this is one I come back to very primarily off of this album, because I just love listening to it. It puts me in such a nice mood. For some reason, even the chaotic ending does. But, like, it just puts me in such a nice mood, and it's just so beautiful to listen to, especially with Matt's mesmerizing voice and the very beautiful lyrics. This is, like, top 5 favorite songs from Muse for me, to be honest. It's absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. I absolutely love this track so much. So the next song on this album is Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome, you know, remember what I told you about where the album has a nice balance of like hard and soft? We had the hard song at first with Time Is Running Out, then we had the soft song with Sing for Absolution, and then we have Stockholm Syndrome, which basically slaps you across the face with that opening guitar riff. This song immediately hooks you by the ear with that guitar riff. That just muddy and kind of gritty guitar riff, not kind of, full-on gritty guitar riff, just is absolutely fantastic. It's like my favorite guitar riff they've done besides, like, it's like Plug In Baby and then it's this. Like, wow, absolutely fantastic. And you know, when you hear that guitar riff at first and then you just hear the drums come pounding, and I mean pounding in, like they just come pounding into this song, along with the bass as well. You hear the like it just kind of comes in subtly, like not too full on until we really get to the first verse of the song. And it's so amazing. The production on this song is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely phenomenal. Like, seriously, just the intensity that this song has. It might be like, well, this and another song we'll get into a little bit later on are probably like the most intense songs they've ever made. Like, just the intensity. This song screams the word intensity, as it just hooks you in with its guitar riff, its drumming, its bass line, and the vocal work. And, you know, this, like I said, the song is called Stockholm Syndrome, and if you don't know what Stockholm Syndrome is when the victim starts, you know, feeling for its captor. That's what Stockholm Syndrome basically is. And the way that it depicts in the lyrics of the song really show that very primarily in the song. Like, I think the lyrics are really great and really, you know, had the feeling of Stockholm Syndrome, in with its lyrics and stuff. And I think it's really fantastic, especially the way Matt sings them. He has kind of fear in his voice while he's singing them, and it has a plea to it as well, and I love that. It really adds to the intensity of the song. It really adds to the intensity of the lyrics as well. And just like when we get to like into the chorus, you know, it kind of tones down just a tiny bit, but then once the chorus ends, it just goes back to that full intensity. I love how like after he sings the chorus for the first time, the guitar goes like it's so fantastic. Like, I love that. Like, when I heard that for the first time, I was like, whoa, this boy going in with that. Like, it was amazing. It was fantastic. And it's just such a chaotic song, and it's really fantastic, and just one that caught my attention whenever I listened to this album for the first time, to be honest, because it really did. Like, it caught my ear very well, honestly. Like I said, the song hooks you by the ear, it makes you listen, and it is fantastic. I love that a lot about the song. And then, you know, when he sings the chorus for the final time of the song, and it just goes out with a finale, just an epic finale to such an intense song, you know, where just the instruments all go crazy, and it's amazing, and it really just adds a nice intense finale to a nice intense song. So the next song we got here is Falling Away With You. Now we go back to the much more softer side of the album with Falling Away With You. And this song talks about how having lost memories, basically. That's basically the overarching theme of this song, is someone reflecting on having lost memories, especially with a loved one. And it's really beautiful, honestly. Like, we just hear an acoustic guitar and some electronics thrown into it as well. It's very beautiful, and, you know, Matt's sombering voice, you know, that adds a lot to the song, honestly, is very, very fantastic. And I think really adds to the emotional weight of the song. It's really great, and then when it kind of gets a bit louder once the chorus comes along, is really amazing in my opinion, and it's just really beautiful to listen to, honestly. Like, it's honestly, that's really the best I can describe it with the song. It's really beautiful to listen to. And oddly enough, they've never played this song live. This is one of the rare songs that they've never played live. And I believe the band members have said that they just feel like it wouldn't work live, and it just will kind of ruin the beauty of the song. And I can imagine that this could be a difficult song to play live because of how much is going on in the song. And it's really fantastic, honestly. Like, it's so beautiful to listen to. And then, you know, once the intensity rises up for the final time of the song, you know, we play the outro, which we go back to the sound in the beginning of the song. And, you know, it's so beautiful, and it just sets the song off so nicely, honestly. It's really fantastic. So yeah, Falling Away With You is absolutely beautiful. So the next track we have on here is an interlude. So Falling Away With You slowly fades away into this interlude, and this is a very nice interlude. It's very calming. Probably my favorite interlude, honestly, I've ever heard on any album, to be honest. I just love how peaceful it sounds. You know, we just kind of hear just the guitar going, you know, just, it's going, like, it's just a nice little riff that's going in the interlude, and it's really fantastic. And I love it, honestly. Like, it's so beautiful to listen to. It's absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. And, you know, it slowly transitions to Hysteria. Whew. To be honest, where do I begin with this song? I'm going to just say straight off the bat, this is my favorite song off of the album, and it's my favorite song from Muse in general. This song is a bona fide masterpiece. This song, like, where do I begin? Like, everything is perfect about this song. There's not one flaw with this song, to be honest. Everything is perfect, honestly. It is a perfect song. Like, from the bass line. Let's just get it out of the way. The bass line. The bass line. Probably my favorite bass line of all time. You know, when you just hear it, like with Stockholm Syndrome, it is just, it grabs you by the ear. Like, it is a song that grabs you by the ear the moment it starts. With that bass line. That bass line of like, it's so amazing and just so awesome and so badass. Like, really, honestly, it is. And then when you hear the other instruments coming in too, like, you hear the drums going boom, boom, like, you just kind of hear them like slightly coming in, and then you hear the guitar going, having a screech to it, like it's just having a screech to it. And then once all the instruments come in together, it's so intense, and it's so just awesome to listen to. You know, that guitar riff, Like, that guitar riff is one of my favorites as well. I know everyone talks about the bass line, in which they should, but that guitar riff as well adds so much to the song. It really does. And then, you know, when we get to the lyrics, the song has fantastic lyrics to it. Now, what the song is talking about obsessive love. And basically someone who, you know, has obsessive love with, you know, someone else. And just showing how destructive it can be and how just much it could take a toll on a person, to be honest, is a really amazing. And just how much they're willing to, you know, be with that person. And not necessarily in the best way, to be honest, because it can be very unhealthy. And it's really fantastic the way that's implemented into the song. And the way that it's speaking in the lyrics, especially with that chorus of, you know, I want it now. You know, give me your heart and your soul. Like, it's really fantastic. And the way Matt delivers that, oof. Like, you know, it's kind of subtle at first, you know, it's intense but subtle at the same time. It's very weird, but, you know, when he's singing that, but once he gets to that chorus, he just goes at it. He just goes full-blown intensity with his vocal work, and it's really fantastic. Like, this song, man, oh man, Dom's drumming is great here too. Like, I love his drumming a lot on this song. Like, he just goes at it. He pounds the hell out of those drums. And just the production is absolutely fantastic. The lyrical content is amazing as well. It's a perfect song. It really is. Like, Hysteria is the best song that the band has ever done. And is easily the best song off of this album, in my opinion. An absolute masterpiece of song, in my opinion. If you have not listened to Hysteria, you are doing yourself a disfavor, and you need to go listen to it, because you will be blown away. And also watch the music video too if you want to. Like, after you're done listening to the song, watch the music video too. I like the music video a lot as well. Fun fact, Justin Theroux was actually in the music video for that, and, you know, it's a really good music video too, so check that out as well. So yeah, Hysteria, great. I don't even know what word to say for this song, because it is just masterpiece. Let's just go with that. Masterpiece. This song is a masterpiece. It honestly is. It's one of the greatest songs ever created. So the next song on this album is Blackout. Blackout, going back to that pattern. Hard, soft, hard, soft. We're back to another soft song. And man, this song is beautiful to listen to. Like, honestly, like, it really is. Like, just the orchestra feel with it is amazing. Like, I love it. It's so beautiful and just so amazing. Like, I love it so much. And when that screeching guitar comes in the middle of the song, it adds so much, honestly. Like, it really does. Like, it's such a beautiful song to listen to. And what the song is talking about, this song has very few lyrics to it as well. It's mostly, for the most part, an instrumental song, to be honest, because it has very few lyrics to it. And what the song is talking about is Matt, you know, basically having to come to the realization that his love is not going to last forever. And just the way he implements it, and just having the sadness in his voice, like when he's singing the song Matt, it's absolutely amazing, honestly. Like, I love his vocal work on this song. It is so fantastic, in my opinion. I absolutely love how he just, his vocal work is really great, and it's very beautiful as well. I love his vocal work so much on this song, and just the orchestra feel with the song too. It's very nice. Implements and stuff like that too is very nice, in my opinion. I absolutely love the orchestra feel. And just the shrieking guitar that comes into the middle of the song adds a lot as well. It's an overall very beautiful song. It's a song that I wasn't too keen on when I first listened to it, but the more I listened to it and the more that I just embraced the feeling of it, it just resonated with me so much. And I felt so much emotion while listening to it more and more, honestly. It's very fantastic, in my opinion. So yeah, Blackout, what an incredible song. So the next song on this album is Butterflies and Hurricanes. Butterflies and Hurricanes is probably the most epic song on this album. It really is, like, just wow, like, it really, like, takes you in, honestly. It honestly really does. The song really takes you in with its epic tone. Like, it's very subtle at first. You know, all you hear really is kind of just the piano and the bass at first, you know, and the drums are very subtle too. All you hear is he's kind of tapping the cymbals a bit. But, it's very subtle at first, and it's very motivational too. Like, this song is a very, very motivational song. I find it very motivational in its lyrics, like in the chorus, best, you got to be the best. Like, it's absolutely motivational. And I'm not gonna lie, whenever I hear this song, I feel very motivated. Like, when I hear it, like, it's one of those songs, if I'm ever feeling unmotivated, or, if I kind of just am like, I'm not really doing too well, this is one of those songs I always put on, because it's just, it's kind of like Matt telling you, like, get up, do something, you know what I mean? Like, it's just Matt kind of telling you to your face, like, do something, you can be the best, and it's really amazing, and I love that amazing feel you get while listening to it, and it's very fantastic, and just the way, after he sings the chorus for the first time, just all the instruments come in, like the piano, the bass, the drums, they all come in hard on this, and Matt's vocal work is fantastic, and when he's singing those verses and that chorus, it's absolutely fantastic. It has such an epic feel to it. And what I said earlier in the video, there's one song in particular where Matt shows his piano skills very, very prominently, is in the piano solo in this song. Woo! That piano solo, let me tell you something. That piano solo, whoo! Because, you're kind of like, you hear the bass at first, but then it slowly comes in with that piano. That piano! Let me tell you something. That piano solo is something of a thing of beauty, okay? Like, it is so beautiful to listen to, just Matt going at it at those keys, let me tell you, just is amazing. Like, it is so fantastic. Just the way he goes in on those keys is so beautiful to listen to. Honestly, it gives you an ear orgasm. I am not gonna be subtle with this, to be honest. It is fantastic. It is amazing to listen to, and you are just so drawn in by it, and so just in the moment with it, and it's so fantastic, and I love it so much. And then once the piano solo ends, it's kind of back to that subtlety at first with the bridge. It just goes right back to the intensity once they sing the chorus for the final time, and just bringing it all home in that finale. It's absolutely amazing. And yeah, Butterflies and Hurricanes, what an epic song. Easily probably the most epic song on this entire album. It is absolutely fantastic in my opinion, and just what a brilliant song, man. Absolutely phenomenal. So the next track here we have is The Small Print. The Small Print, interesting fact about this song. So Matt Bellamy wanted the song Fury to be on the album. But Dom and Chris didn't want that on the album. They wanted The Small Print. So, so that's what won the votes, since, 2-1. So, The Small Print ended up being on the album instead of Fury. Fury would end up being a bonus track on later reissues of this album. But, Matt really wanted Fury to be on this album. But, but honestly, I'm glad that, Chris and Dom went with The Small Print a little bit more, because I feel like, it's just a bit better of the song than Fury. I love Fury. Fury's a great song, but I feel like The Small Print fits a little more on this album than Fury does, in my opinion. So, yeah. Now onto the actual song. The Small Print is an awesome, intense song. It's very rockin'. It has a nice, gritty guitar riff to it. Drumming is very fantastic on it. The bass work is really good too. The song talks about selling your soul to the devil. That's basically what the song is, talking about. And it's really fantastic. Like, it has a nice intense feel to it. Matt Bellamy's vocal work is very, grimy and intense. I love it. It's really great, honestly. So, yeah, I don't have too much to say about the song. It's really just kind of just a rockin' song that you could just kind of jam out to, honestly. It's a very nice, hard, intense song that really has some nice intensity to it. So, yeah, really don't have too much to say about it, but it's still a really good song overall. I still enjoy listening to it whenever I hear it. So, yeah, Small Print, really good song. Alright, so the next song we have here is Endlessly. Endlessly is a nicely, going back to the softer side of the album, we have a very nice, soft, emotional song. I really like the production a lot on this song. Has some nice electronics to it, honestly, very electronic influenced on this song. I really love it a lot. Kind of the, also the subtlety with the drums as well is very good. You know, I really love Matt's vocal work on here as well. Definitely, in my opinion, the highlight of the song. It's very nice and very emotional, and you know, the lyrics are really good too as well. I really like the lyrics. They're very nice, very thoughtful, in my opinion. So yeah, and once you know the chorus hits, the intensity with the song dials up a little bit, not too much, but dials up a little bit more. And it's really nice. I really like it a lot. Kind of like with the Small Print. Don't have too much to say about the song, but it is overall a really nice song that I do like a lot, and it's very calming to listen to if you want to kind of just be in a calm mood. It's very calming to listen to. So yeah, Endlessly, really good, nice, emotional song. So the next song we have here is Thoughts of a Dying Atheist. I love how fast-paced this song is. It's a very fast-paced song, honestly. Like, you know, everyone, especially with the drumming. Like, Dom's drumming is very fast-paced on this song. Like, he just kind of goes all fast and crap with it, honestly, and it's really cool. Like, the tempo is very fast, and you know, it just keeps on going. It's one of those songs that just keeps the flow going at a very fast pace. I really like that, honestly. And what this song is talking about is an atheist who is, you know, if you don't know what an atheist is, it's someone who doesn't believe in God, and you know, he's worried about what's going to happen to him once he dies, because you know he doesn't believe in an afterlife or anything like that. So he's kind of worried about what is going to happen to him once you know he dies, and we see that primarily in the lyrics of the song. And I love how Matt sings this song. You know, he does have, like, you know, like I've said with other songs, he has a sense of fear in his voice. You know, you could really tell with that. Like, you know, he has a sense of fear, like, oh crap, what's going to happen to me? Because Matt is an atheist himself, so, you know, I don't know if he, like, wrote this in, like, his perspective of, like, him worrying of, like, what's going to happen to him once he dies, but, you know, it's really good, and it adds a lot to it as well. Like, I really think his vocal work, adds a lot to a song, especially like when he's singing the chords, like when he goes like, it scares the hell out of me, like when you just have to kind of high in his voice when, you know, he sings that part of the song is really good too. So I really love his vocal work a lot on this song. To be honest, it's nice, intense, has a nice sense of fear to it as well, and it adds a lot. So yeah, it's a very nice, fast-paced song to listen to. Like if you ever just kind of need to get going, this is one of those songs that you should listen to, definitely. Like if you ever want to go on a run, maybe put on this song. Maybe it might help because it's nice, fast paced, gets the job done very well in my opinion. So yeah, Thoughts of a Dying Atheist, great song. Alright, so we're on the final track of the album, which is Ruled by Secrecy. Ruled by Secrecy is a very haunting way to end this album. It really is, honestly. Like, I really do think this is a nice, haunting way to end this album. Like, just that piano, like, has a very haunting vibe with it, and especially with Matt's vocal work as well. Like, it's so haunting to listen to. And then, you know, after he sings, you know, the first couple of verses and the chorus, then the drums just come in very, very slightly, and, you know, just has this kind of epic, haunting feeling to it. And just, you know, it was kind of like with Blackout. It was kind of one of those songs I didn't really appreciate at first, really, with this album, but the more I listened to it, and the more that I just took in the emotion and the overall haunting atmosphere with the song, I grew to love it. honestly, and it's one of my favorite closing tracks that the band has ever done. It just ends the album on such a haunting and somber note, and it really just concludes this kind of apocalyptic theme very well, in my opinion, and I love it so much. It's such a just haunting song to listen to and just kind of just draw in and take in all the emotion with it. It really is very fantastic, in my opinion, and just ends the album on such a nice somber note, a very haunting note, if you will. So yeah, I absolutely love Ruled by Secrecy. It is maybe one of my favorite songs the band has done, to be honest, but it's really fantastic. It just ends the album so perfectly, in my opinion. So overall, Absolution by Muse, what an album. What an album, honestly. This album is an experience, honestly. This is an album that just really is an experience to listen to, honestly. It really is. I really love Absolution a lot. It is in my top 10 favorite. Honestly, it might draw into my top 5 in later, maybe in about a couple months to a year. I'm not too sure, but it's definitely in my top 10. It's one of the greatest albums ever made. And in my opinion, it's the band's magnum opus. It is the best thing the band has ever done. I don't ever see them topping this, to be honest. It's going to be very hard for an album to top this, to be honest. It is quite a masterwork, in my opinion, and just truly fantastic. So aside from my official rating on Absolution by Muse, and my official rating on Absolution by Muse is a 6 out of 5. This album is too epic for a 5 out of 5. This gets one of my rare 6 out of 5s. This is a brilliant piece of work. This is something, I feel like this is an album that not just like rock fans should listen to, but like all fans of music should listen to be honest, because it's just such a amazing album. It really is. It is so brilliant with its tendencies of hard and soft, like, and just the production. It's so amazing. This is such an album that is an experience to listen to. I love this album to death. I could go on for days talking about this album because it is just that big of a masterwork, in my opinion, and is absolutely brilliant, in my opinion. I absolutely love this album to death, and it is truly one of my favorite things ever created. So that was my very extremely long, which I can imagine. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like once I edit this, but thank you all for watching my review of Absolution by Muse. This is probably one of my favorite reviews I've ever done, to be honest. This was a lot of fun to do. I really loved talking about this album. So, I should have my review for Black Holes and Revelations at some point, but definitely thank you. Definitely check that out, and definitely thank you for watching this review. I very much appreciate it. So, if you have listened to Absolution by Muse, what is your favorite track off of the album, and what did you think of it? Please leave it in the comment section below. And I'm FilmFan0599, and we will see you all later. Peace.